one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, it's us again, Tyler and Frank, just coming to you live to talk about beginnings today. Uh, oh, okay. Oh my god. This is something I was thinking about at work. What is something that you regret beginning? Cause
Uh,
that's a thing. That is a thing. Regretting starting something.
I don't know. Like for me, I never regretted like anything that I did in my life because like I had to do it at that period of time, no matter if it caused me grief or if it caused me progression towards in the future. I had to do it. I got asked that a lot just throughout like my years of living on this earth and just being aware. Of course, I'm 30 years old, and it was just like nah, because everything, like literally everything that I have did progress me forward.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, no regrets. Got it. I mean, I don't even know. Do I have? Like, I love how I asked the question, but I have absolutely nothing to partake in.
It be like that sometimes.
Participate with. Oh my gosh. What do I? Is there anything that I regret beginning? Um, I guess in a sort of a way, I kind of regret going beginning college just because I wasn't able to finish it. You know, the
Mhm.
whole
Okay.
point of beginning something is to finish it.
Okay.
Um, so I guess like I wasn't able to finish college, and now I just have debt, and that's kind of muy depresso.
Okay.
So
Do you feel like
I guess I,
do you feel like it like the debt was a reward, but like you didn't really put in like the training, which was finishing, so now you're left with the reward. And I know sometimes people don't look at debt as being a reward, but it is a mind switch if you look at it like that. Just in your case, in your
yeah,
particular situation.
it definitely does feel like being like I paid for some experiences. Not like
Mhm.
experience in an educational sense, whereas I did get some education, but more experiences in like life experiences, making like
Mhm.
friends, going doing things. I can't say I went and partied because that wasn't anything I did.
Yeah.
So I I I guess I more or less paid to get friends. That's essentially what I was doing in my 1 year
Okay.
there.
Okay. Definitely.
And then my
Definitely.
parents decided they were going to co-sign for the loan, so I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'm not going back to college. And then,
Yeah.
a few years later, here I am.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a reasonable approach to it. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's
Yeah.
just like I feel it's like I regret beginning it because I didn't finish it. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
because it's just like that mindset of like I started something, I have to finish it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I totally understand that. Yeah. Um,
yeah.
it's one of those things where I believe that experience for you served you well because the and this is just like my mindset flip of the situation. If I was in that situation, I definitely know I would have flipped my mind the way that I always do things. I think what you went through propelled you to go forward, to learn the things and go on this huge discovery that you're doing in life as you age. Uh, for me, I can honestly say, as a college graduate, and even being an Oregon State resident, I am going to be going for my master's soon, and doctor's degree. I found multiple universities. We live across the street from the University of Oregon, so they even told me I can get it there. And I found like a just side note: the community colleges here, they're huge. So they actually have sports teams and clubs. So it's literally no different when you're joining a community college in a state like Oregon, versus if you're going to a community college in a city, which is very
So
interesting.
wait. Are you trying to get me to move to Oregon? Are you trying to
Nah,
sell
look,
the state
it's
to
it's
me?
funny
Is that
because
what you're trying to do to me right now?
uh,
Being like,
the
oh, yo, look, it's so good here. The grass is so much greener over here. You should totally move.
well, no,
Is that what you're
it's
trying to
one of
do to
those
me?
things. It's one of those things where I would say Oregon works for anyone, but you literally have to get out the house, or else
Oh,
you would go crazy. You literally that's the only way you meet people. Uh, you can do it
well,
through
that sounds
app.
horrible.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like Oregon. I can definitely say from the 2 months. Let's say June, July, August. For 3 months, right? For the 3 months that I have been here, it's literally one of those things where you won't know anybody unless you literally go out. It's not one of those things where it's like you walking in your neighborhood and y'all just start hanging out. No, you literally have to talk to people here.
Isn't
And
that kind of how it goes with like a lot of different places? Say even here in Chicago, you have
mm,
to go out to clubs, bars, meetup places, and really like talk to people in order to get anywhere, especially in today's society where we're all just like on the phone or just sitting in front of a computer. Like to meet people, you actually have to go out and do it.
so being in Chicago all my life, it's different there because people will talk to you. Here, if you go outside, everybody minds their own business. Nobody is gonna come up and talk to you unless you actually do it. And you will only get to know people if you actually go out and do the talking yourself. Whereas in Chicago, if you taking out like your trash or something, they'll crack a joke with you or they'll say, "Oh, I like this, like that." They do not do that here in Oregon.
No,
Even if you have like really cool clothes on, you know, they'll be like, they just mind their
hey,
own
who's up
business.
here?
But you'll meet those same people at trivia or bingo or
Wait, people
sporting
still do
events.
bingo?
Yeah. So I did bingo
Huh.
for the first time like a month and a half ago. So
I This is news to me. I thought bingo is dying out like bowling, like that.
nah, so it's really different for like every city and state. Oregon is very traditional. No, Oregon is very so they move from traditional. So everyone is settling in into the new now. So a lot of people still keep the traditional way and they're bringing that to the new now, aka the new generation, or the new generation of things, the way that everything is going. So, for example, if bingo is happening, everybody is there. It's one of those things where you be like, yo, I didn't know you go here. And they be like, yeah, man, I drive 20, 30 miles to come here. It's a staple. They have specific bingos every Thursdays and Fridays. Same thing with trivia. Same thing with bowling. They're very traditional here, but like I said, they're moving forward. They just keep in their traditional ways so they can have a foundation to run back on just in case the new way doesn't work for them.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Whereas, in
You
my
just
experience,
got me with the whole 20 to 30 miles thing as if I didn't like
oh
grow up in Michigan and have to drive 45 minutes to go to work,
yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God.
But
Ugh.
apparently that's a thing here. It doesn't matter, I promise you. If an event is happening will happen continuously every like week and it takes somebody 50 miles to get there, they put it in their destination schedule. It's a thing. So how they
Interesting.
so remember, I never told you this, but Oregon is actually built off mental wellness. I
Oh,
don't
I
know if
thought it
I
was the bones of the dead.
but it's Oregon is built off mental wellness. It's so many mental wellness healthcare centers here that even if you don't even have money, they will literally help you and put you in
Is
counseling.
is
one of those
Okay.
things that I wanted to ask you is,
Mhm, mhm.
are you happy in the direction that you're pushing your life and your new beginning? I know that you're been in Chicago, I think for about three plus years now. Yeah,
My God,
yeah,
yeah, you're right. So it's coming up on 4.
hmm
God, I'm old.
yeah,
At first I thought you were gonna ask, "Am I happy?" And I was like, I don't know if we should answer that. I don't know if we
yeah.
have all the time for that. But happy with my life is going. I would say yes.
Okay,
I moved out of Michigan just to start a whole new life, to have a better career, have better friends,
yeah,
or friends, like experience a whole new life that I wasn't able to have in Michigan, and I am getting that here.
yeah,
It's slow. I don't like going outside very much.
okay,
A lot of the times, the people our age tend to flock towards bars, uh,
mhm,
cars, and other things that rhyme with R's.
yeah,
And I don't frequent those R's places, so it's more difficult for me to meet those people.
yeah,
But, my first job here in the city uh, launched me into the really close, amazing friend group that I have now, which
okay,
is very pivotal in my happiness in this city.
yeah,
So, yeah, and I know you have mentioned a couple of different times since you've moved how happy you are that you did move.
yeah, yeah,
Is that still the case?
yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, for me in Chicago, and it's not Chicago isn't a bad city at all. I think anybody who moves from their home city or home state or home country, uh, majority of the times it doesn't work for them. Unless you're pure traditional, and there's nothing wrong with being traditional, but unless you're pure traditional, meaning like, hey, this is the city that I'm born in. I follow these. I go to church every Sunday. Have family dinners with my family Monday through Friday. We all sit at the table. No phones, or um, you have traditions that you do every single week, and it's been like that with your family for decades and centuries. Then I think the person can make it in their city, state, or country. But that's only if you're actually okay with those traditions and you don't mind living like that average, like regular life. And there's nothing wrong with that. It worked for you. But in Chicago, um, that's pretty much like what happened to me, and I didn't like none of those things. Like I
Fair
never
enough.
liked it. I think it goes into the point where there's an age cutoff, I believe, and I'm going to continue asking more people about this, and maybe you can refer to it as well, uh, relate to it as well. There's an age where everyone figures out if they're going to make it successfully in their life in that particular city, state, or country. But you got to be really in tune with yourself early on to know that decision. Uh, Me being 30 now, I can resonate with people who are older than me, who say, I knew at this particular age that if I didn't leave that city, state, or country, I wasn't going to be anything. For me, I personally knew whether I was going to stay in the city or not and make it there at the age of 18. The only reason why I didn't is because I had to help my mom out financially in the house as an adult young man that turned 18. Great thing is, I did complete 4 years of college at a very expensive college, that is, while doing 40 hours of work, but that was only for the house. That wasn't for me. What I'm doing now is for me, and I'm still growing in this. I'm gonna always be growing even when I'm an old, old, old elderly man. But I can definitely say for me that age was 18. What age did you realize that you had to move from Michigan? And if you didn't, it was just gonna be catastrophic.
As depressing as it sounds, it was probably around 10, I want to say.
Okay, so that's
Pretty
really
early.
yeah,
Really young. I knew I didn't fit in when I was super young. I knew all
yeah,
that like depressing nonsense. But
yeah.
the only thing is I didn't know how I would get out. I knew I
Okay,
had to leave. I just didn't know how.
yeah,
So the fact that COVID happened
yeah.
was a blessing. Yeah, yeah, I
Okay, I
love
am so
that.
happy you
We
said
love
that.
the vid for her
Yeah,
for that.
I'm so happy you said that because I thought I was the only one who thought like that. When COVID happened, the same thing for me. I was excited. I was like, I'm about to leave. I'm about to
Oh hell
go.
yeah.
I have to. This is the perfect time to
Yep.
do it because everything is all over the place. So guess what? It's not gonna be weird me not having my stuff together, air quotes, because everybody is all over the place.
Literally.
So
Somebody just kicked the dirt and we were
yeah,
waiting for the dust to settle. That's all it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
like
so that's so funny that you thought
oh yeah,
just
no.
like
The
that.
only reason
Yeah.
I was able to move here was because the government paid me to,
Hmm.
and my one roommate, he wanted to move as well, and I was just like,
Yeah.
bye. So I
Yeah.
left, and here I am living my bestest life.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And
No.
it's interesting that a lot of people, you know, for their own reasons anyways, a lot of people are still upset that COVID happened. But
Oh
people
God,
like
I
me and
know.
you know what I mean? People like me and you, we look at it as being the biggest blessing, the biggest gold
It was
crust.
revealing.
Yeah, literally.
It was so
And
revealing on so many levels. I was like, okay, okay.
mhm,
Everybody's still complaining about masks.
yeah,
When we had a outbreak
yeah,
just last week, we had to
yeah,
wear masks, and people were just like, "Ugh," and I'm like, it's a mask. It's
yeah,
fine. Like, I don't like it. And it's
yeah,
like, it makes my face really warm, but at the same
yeah.
time, if it protects other
So
people, so be it.
this is
Like,
so funny. Um,
like, but yeah,
so
it was a very revealing time.
I got my phone turned on. I have a second line that I work at the radio station, as you already know, but the viewers, I volunteer at the radio station here, the local radio station, KEPW, here.
Get that promo in.
Yeah, KEPW here. And I got access to my phone that I had before the phone that I have here. I thought I lost all of my 2020 COVID photos that I
What kind
took
of
of
tech junkie
everything.
are you? How many phones do you have? I can barely keep my one alive.
You know what's so funny? I literally have this solely so when I talk to people in a radio station,
Uh,
um, over 40 some people won't have my personal number.
so you have a work phone
Work
and you have
phone, that's
person.
literally it. And never in my life thought I'd ever have a work phone. Whenever I hear
Literally.
people say work phone, I'm like, okay,
When I hear
you're
work phone, I think landline.
get landline. There's
Literally,
people,
router. You have the dial-up.
yeah,
You have the rotary phone.
yeah. There's people here who still have uh phones. They still have the landline. But yeah, I was able to recover all those photos from my old iPhone since I got this number turned on like 5 days ago, and I just been ecstatic. But
Oh hell yeah!
just like you said, 2020 was that was a revolutionary year. I was everywhere exploring. If 2020 COVID pandemic did not happen, I would not be.
Were you one of the people who lost their jobs because you weren't priority? Were you one of
Nope,
those people?
no,
No. So you
absolutely not.
so you were considered essential.
Yeah, Yeah, and
Okay,
that's
I was too because I was part of the military. I was making aerospace components at the
okay.
time. That was a
Okay.
factory work. It was nothing fun. It was nothing fancy. All I
Okay.
did was I just took apart and I put it in some acid and I cleaned it and I took it out. That's
Yeah.
all I did. I did nothing with math. I did nothing with physics. I'm not that fun. I'm not that
Yeah.
smart. I just did the job and then I moved here.
Okay. So that's funny. So
But
I
like,
worked
we
at
were
Jimmy.
considered military. We were contract. We were primarily contracted with the military. Like 98% of our business was the military. So I didn't lose my job.
So
Praise the
that's
Queen.
really cool. Um, my paper is still in my car, and it has the date when COVID happened, and it said it had my first and last name on there, and it said that I'm a essential worker, and if I get pulled over, I have to show that to the police officer.
Oh my God. So you had to, not only did you have to keep your hands on the wheel at
Yeah.
all times, you had to have your driver's license ready, your
Yeah.
registration ready,
Yeah.
and like a whole ass,
Yeah.
like, press ID to slap against the
Yeah.
window and just be like,
Yeah.
look, I'm essential. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Yeah.
And you
Because
had hope that
in
you get tased.
Chicago, and like I said, I still got my paper in my glove department that I'm going to keep in frame. You know.
I was gonna say you're gonna put that in a frame.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. But man,
You should just have a wall of 2020.
man, I had so many one night stands on 2020. We're not even gonna
Of
get into it,
so
but
you were going literally against every protocol of
every
COVID. Got it.
every
Love that for you.
every single protocol, and it was
I mean, I'm
funny.
pretty sure the NDA is like done and gone for me. I can comfortably say that I also went to like a small party, so I
Yeah,
can't say too much.
no, so I'll do you one up. Um, you went to the party. I was a bouncer at the COVID party,
Ah, yeah,
and
so you said.
here's the thing. I still got that COVID blazer that I wore still in a bag since COVID that's literally on above the laundry machine shelf in our new place here. It's literally in the same bag tied up. The only reason I have it here and it's in the same form is because it was in my suitcase. We didn't have enough time to actually get it dry cleaned, so I brought it to Oregon with me. And that's when I caught COVID.
It's a petri dish.
Yeah,
That is a COVID bomb.
literally.
Actually, I don't know how long it would last. Like it doesn't have any essential nutrients
Yeah,
or anything, so it may have actually died in the bag. Who's to say? But personally, not willing to open it.
yeah, like original COVID in that,
Yeah,
like,
the OG vid.
yeah,
That's Corona.
yeah.
That's what you have in that bag. You have Corona.
Man, that was a good. Oh man, that was a good year. And again, we're not saying these things to you all um, to give a middle finger to any
Oh God,
grief
no.
or any hardship that you all went through during 2020.
God,
We're
no,
just
no. Like
talking
so many
about,
people.
and so many people. I mean, just to put it out there, my father passed away from COVID in
Mm.
2021. Uh, 6 months directly after Father's Day when I hung out with him. So we're by no means necessary shedding a light on COVID and saying that, oh, everybody should have been turning up like us. No. What we're saying here is that we made the best out of what was given to us based off the traumas that we grew up in, and we knew we had to get out. It just happened to be COVID just happened, and we were like, hey, we gotta bounce. If we're gonna bounce, we gotta do it now. Working as a bouncer, actually at these hidden COVID parties, so it's just a crazy, crazy thing. But I would not recommend that to anyone
No,
trying to be
that's dangerous.
a bouncer. Yeah, it was. We were not even
I was gonna
supposed to
say it's
be out.
dangerous. The cops are gonna get there. But like,
Yeah,
I feel like what we did essentially is we took lemonade and we made lemons to give it to life. So I
yeah,
think that's what we did.
yeah,
Life didn't give
yeah,
us lemons. We gave lemons to life.
yeah, yeah. It was
Or we
one of
gave
those.
life to lemons. You
We
know,
did.
I don't know
We
anybody
did.
who's taken lemonade and made lemons. Like that's a pretty like reasonable feat.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you how exclusive the party was, and I'm not naming none of these guys' names because I ain't trying to have nobody looking after them or nothing like that. They
It was
made
essential card only.
huh? Oh no,
Was it essential card only?
I didn't
Flash
mention
your
it
essential
earlier.
card and you can get in.
Yeah, no, I didn't even mention it. So you actually had to be a person of status to actually get in. It was not
The
a
fuck
free
does that mean?
fall party. Yeah, no, you had to
What
have a
does that mean?
network. If you was making less, the only reason I got in, even I was working at Jimmy John's, the only reason I got in is from a connection that worked with me there, and he was old. He was a couple years older than me. Um, if you weren't making a certain kind of money or have a certain kind of status in the upper neighborhoods of Chicago, like the Gold Coast, Lincoln Park, Wicker Park, um, um, Andersonville,
Back the yards.
they
Oh,
weren't gonna let you in. Like it just wasn't, and you had to show ID. So the person, the guy who
wait,
all made us
wait. You had to show ID, not your
yeah,
Black American Express card.
it was literally
Like,
like that. It's funny.
I mean, that I feel like that's more official than an ID. Yeah, yeah. You didn't copy that at all. Yeah. Well, yeah, like this way, sir. Like, but you know that they could have just flashed their Black American Express card, and you'd be like, "Oh, right, of course, right this way."
Yeah, and we had secret handshakes, passwords. And the team who actually did it, they made us custom COVID masks.
Same.
Yeah, and it was a battery pack under, and when you put it on, it covers this much, and the rest of it flops over your, not just your chin, but it goes down to your neck like a mask, like a Halloween mask. I still have that.
That's weird.
This is,
That sounds like something from The Purge.
yeah, no, like legit. That's real, real. And it's so funny because they was like, "Yo, how did y'all like do that?" It was one of those things where it's like, "Don't ask, don't tell." So yeah, you
Frank,
had to
you
be,
just dodged a whole Purge movie. You dodged a
yeah,
whole Purge movie.
man.
Like you were just the bouncer. You weren't like the victims. They weren't the ones sacrificing you to all hail. I haven't watched all of the movies, but that was literally the plot
Yeah,
of one of the movies.
yeah. Now I'm gonna say this, and I
You
know we
dodged
got
a
to go to
bullet.
the next. I'm gonna say this, and I know we got to go to the next topic. But so I got out. A month later, it actually got busted. It actually got raided.
For
So that
what
was
drugs?
God's plan. Yeah, it got raided. It got raided.
For
It was in a
what? What
night
did they get rated for? You can't just leave me
because
hanging like that.
you wasn't
Again,
supposed to.
beginnings need finishing.
Yeah, they wasn't. You wasn't supposed to have any parties. It was no groups. It was no group gatherings. That's what the law regulation in Chicago at that time said.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they had
And
that in Michigan too.
1 month after I just stopped, I was like, man, I'm gonna find something else to make money off of. It got raided. Policemen came in there, and I was so glad because at that time they could have either ticketed you around $500, $800 each, or you would have been had to serve jail time when the curve of COVID-19 actually went down. So no, I started doing Lyft
You
at that
said
time.
rated, and I thought there was drugs or something involved. I was like, oh,
It was.
spill that tea. Oh my God.
No, no, it was.
So
That's why I'm not
they just
saying
got caught.
no, and it was. It was drugs and alcohol like involved too, and they didn't have a permit.
Girl,
So
where was this party at? I need in.
that's why I'm like, I ain't saying nobody's name. I ain't saying no neighborhood that it was in. It's one of those things where that actually happened. And the guy
I bet you it
who's
was Evanston.
the condo that it was actually in was a very nice condo.
Oh
The
no.
guy, he was
You
smart.
know, wealth I'm gonna get is holding somebody's Black American Express card. I'm gonna be, oh my
And,
God, oh my God, oh
and
my
that's
God, oh
so
my God.
funny because that actually happened too. But we're gonna do that in a different topic. I can go on and
Oh,
on
yeah,
about
that's a whole other topic. Like COVID has to be its like own thing. But
yeah,
I guess the bottom line is, when it comes to beginnings, we need to finish what we start, obviously.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
sometimes beginnings come
Mhm.
in unique ways and forms because
Mhm.
I never would have thought that a disease or pandemic would
Mhm.
cause me to start a whole new life. So
Yeah.
always be open and ready to new
Yep.
beginnings or any sort of a beginning because you never know where it could lead.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, beginnings, we gotta love them. We're always gonna need them, and
Mhm.
sadly, they're always gonna keep coming.
And
So,
and welcome them joints. Welcome all new beginnings, all
oh
hardships.
yeah,
Welcome them
open
joints.
arms. Yeah,
Like,
open arms.
and I know this is going to be probably a different topic that we talk about, but welcoming um oppositions that come up in your life. Like, is you'll be surprised about the person you
Like
become.
being a bottom, like that
It,
type of position, or like
it's true.
being
Look,
CEO.
now that's
Like,
going to
what
be a
kind of
completely
positions are we
different topic.
welcoming here?
That's going to be a whole different topic. If you don't already have that written down, that's going to be a whole different topic. Because, man, stories on that too. But,
Yeah, I would say that's fair enough, but we are gonna end our episode here, you guys. So tune in next week where we talk about something completely different, completely random. Thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
next episode.